BMW or SUV or something like that couldn't get into the driveway, and it's like a major issue. And of course, we don't want any problems. We don't want anybody to be upset or anything like that. So we talked to the buyer. We said, what is it going to take to make this go away? We want you to be happy. He told us what to do. We said, here you go. Deal with the neighbor, deal with TRC, move on. I didn't make any money on that deal. I got so many deals that are already firm that, like I got one property that's sold already, but the buyers, they're trying to sell their house. They haven't sold their house yet. So they're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Like when that happens, when the market crashes like 20% in like, 3 months, I get it. I'm like, yeah, you overpaid, price went down, appraisal. Now the value of your home's gone down. You can't afford to sell it for lower. Da, da, da. But this particular case, the people just like didn't really know that their house was only worth a certain amount of money when they bought ours.
Whoa, hey, ow.
So that becomes obviously an issue for us because we got to make sure that the place gets sold and everything else. And we're in a good position. We got a good deposit, all those type of things. But we just want people to, work together in peace. We don't want to have anybody out there who's worried about, a lawyer or having to get private financing or anything like that. That's just, it's a hassle, at the end of the day, it's a hassle. But I have had in the last little while, lots of last minute deal negotiations and obstacles. And so I'm not saying that that's because of the deals or the market or anything like that. I'm saying that that is just like the heightened state of stress that people are under right now. There's just a little bit more stress in everybody's life right now. And they're crying. I got someone crying about, a few $100s, because of
Few
a mistake that somebody
$100s.
made. The lawyers, the buyers, the bank, I don't know. Somebody made a mistake. Everyone's blaming the other person. It's a few $100s. There's a cost, and I'm just sitting in the middle. I had
Don't
nothing to
worry,
do
I
with it.
got it. I
But
got
they
it.
all,
Let's just
but they
close,
all,
guys.
no,
I'll
it's
pay it.
closed. Everything's done. It's after the fact. But now everyone calls me to sort of whine about it, right? Just to be able to
Sure.
say, hey, what do you think about this? And I'm like, guys, it's a few $100 here. Let's come to an agreement. Why doesn't everybody chip in?
I think if the fucking realtor was doing his job properly, this couple $100 wouldn't have
Couple
come
hundred
out
bucks
of
never would
anywhere,
have
right?
happened. Had
Never
nothing
would
to
have
do with
happened.
real estate sales, strictly to do with mortgage stuff, but
So you
absolutely.
didn't offer to pay it, and that's why they're coming after and they're complaining to you, right? They're like,
there's
yeah,
there's
like
a
I don't
chance
know
that I
about
still
that.
may pay it. So let's not,
Yes, there is a
there's always a
chance that you
chance
will
that I
still
still,
pay it.
at the end of the day, just to make people happy, pull out the checkbook and say, here you go. Here's your couple $100 to, make sure that you're happy overall with the services. At the end of the day, I just want people to be happy to move on. There is a cost to my peace of mind. And I can say to you one thing, Darryl, because I'm talking to a few different agents on the team about their problems and stuff. There's a lot of stress in our job, and there's a lot of stress in the
Right
markets.
now, there is,
And
yeah.
the more you deal with it, the better you get at handling it. You know,
Yeah, that's what you think until you have a
you,
situation on your hands that goes the
look,
wrong
I'm not
way,
saying I
right?
don't have stress. I got all sorts of things, but
Superman.
at the end of the day, like I'm able to shrug off things a lot easier. And that feels good, because I don't want to
Well, I
stress
mean,
out.
listen,
I don't
when
have any gray hair,
you don't have any gray hair yet, that's true.
but
I mean, you're very
one
young
day
though,
it's going to
TK.
come. One day it's going to come. And I don't want it to come any sooner than it needs to.
Things are a lot easier to deal with when you have a little bit of a cushion in the bank, and things have been going good for a few years. It's all these people that are hanging on for dear life that are really gonna cause chaos in the market because
Yeah.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I mean, people's perspective make them do very stupid, crazy things for money, right? And
Mm.
so when you are, I mean, look how important the realtor is to the deal. I mean, you're so central, right? Everybody's coming through you for something, even if it has nothing to do with you. Generally, you know about it, you have
I'm
to help with
involved.
it,
My
you're
name's on
involved
the
with it, right?
paperwork. I'm involved.
You're
Yeah.
involved. But I mean, most of you don't have a bloody clue what you're doing, and all of this faith and all of this, important decision making, or just there's so much riding on these things that are left up to these idiots that are hanging on for dear life that you know, people are very manipulative. So when there's a decision to make, maybe the right decision, or maybe even all the information isn't passed on in order to make sure that the answer is we're going to close ASAP. Do you follow what I'm saying? So I mean, it's good when you're a seasoned veteran and you got some money and everything's good and you can make the right decisions for the clients, because at the end of the day, you know, you've built a business, you want to keep your reputation,
You want to stay around for another 30
and
years.
well,
Yeah,
and you understand that
makes
sometimes,
sense.
you got to lose some money to make some money, and
And I've lost some money,
you've
just so
lost some money,
everybody
sure.
knows.
Well,
I've
and
cut some checks.
what a lot of seasoned real estate professionals understand is that if you really want to squeeze a little bit more at the end, there's always the realtor's commissions, right? And
So we had this one. This just reminded me of this one. So the guy, we sold the house, right? It was a builder client of mine. He kind of did a build. He did there was an existing home built on top of the bungalow, expanded it at the back, did all sorts of stuff. So we get the sale done. And the at the last minute, there's a work order put on the property for his deck. So instead of doing a deck, he put a covered deck. And so because it's a covered deck, it became a structure as opposed to just a deck. And he didn't have a permit for that. And so, of course, he got a work order put on his property. And so then the buyers found out about it. And so we said, no problem. We're going to get it done by closing and we'll have a $30,000 holdback until it gets done. Because it's like this beautiful covered deck. It was like the most gorgeous one you could imagine. Well, it turns out TRCA was involved.
Uh-oh.
Because even though it was a backyard with no forest or anything like that, there was some sort of like little waterway that was like at the bottom of this hill that in case there's like a one-off flood, there was, a type of culvert in this valley, right? And so TRCA was involved. So of course, TRCA, nothing gets done fast, nothing else happens, blah, 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 blah. So we get the job done to the point where everybody's happy.
Except for the
Basically,
lawyer, no?
the buyers are happy. I'm pretty sure there was a certain amount of money just going to be given to the buyers, and they were going to take on the chances. The buyers were happy. Okay, but this neighbor next door, he was always really upset with the way that the building was done, and like there was just relationship issues there, and he had his own things going on too. So long story short is, he was accused of being a racist because he only wanted people of his nationality moving in, and the buyers weren't that nationality. So the first day he moved in, he asked them what's their nationality. They said the wrong answer, so he got upset. Well, then what happened is it was a private driveway, right? It's a private driveway. So you got this driveway that goes along the side of the house and it goes to your backyard. His driveway's on the other side of the house. He doesn't use that driveway at all. But his house is close to this house that we sold. So that's not that narrow of a space. And obviously some land does belong to him, and the private driveway being like just enough. But because there's no fence there, it was enough for any car to go in and out of that driveway. Well, because he was so upset with the fact that these new neighbors weren't the type of neighbors he was looking for, he built the fence on the property line legally, exactly where he's allowed to. And they be able to put the 6x6 posts. He did everything right. And now you've got this narrow little laneway in between the house and the fence that the guy's BMW or SUV or something like that couldn't get into the driveway. And he's going off and da 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 da. And it's like a major issue. And of course, we don't want any problems. We don't want anybody to be upset or anything like that. And so we talked to the buyer. We said, what is it going to take to make this go away? We want you to be happy. He told us what to do. We said, here you go. Deal with the neighbor, deal with TRC, move on. I didn't make any money on that deal, but
is that what you were talking about? Okay.
Right.
So,
but these are the things that happen,
that happened before closing?
Yeah. Oh, no, the fence happened after closing.
So what the hell did you lose money for?
Ooh-wee. Listen, these are just the things that you do. All right. You don't want problems, Darryl. We're not looking for
that's
problems.
a little much, I think. That's a little bit
I'm just
crazy.
letting you know that was one of the scenarios that happens. People get upset, and you know what? The realtors, they do what they got to do. They keep going. They got to move on with life.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.